In the drylands of East Africa, pastoralist communities face the brunt of environmental shocks and stresses, threatening their food security and livelihoods. These communities are resilient and adaptable, having dealt with drought and other calamities for hundreds of years. Today, though, even their adaptability is stretched to breaking points.
There are myriads of challenges faced by dryland communities. One is the natural factors, including the recent phenomenon of climate change with protracted drought crisis. Pastoral communities' asset systems is very important for people's resilience. So the market system is not as efficient as required for people to offtake their animals when you want to do that. Basically, converting your asset into a liquid cash or saving is a big issue up to now. We have evolved our policies, but then some of the policies within the space that we exist around drought responses evolved, but then our response architecture is still wired to the traditional response architecture, which is very reactive.
Despite the challenges, we can be optimistic. Drylands offer diverse and productive resources, and the pastoralists in them are rich in energy, innovation, and social capital.
Science shows that if you do something early enough, you can save $2 that you would have spent when you have crisis. But despite that scientific evidence and knowledge, we haven't changed our approaches to how we respond to drought. And that's why we created a project like Jameel Observatory that questions those fundamental issues that we have raised around the cost of responding in reactive mode, the institutional systems, the coordination of how we respond, the financing. If we are to act early, how do we finance?
The Jameel Observatory brings together 5 founding partners: the University of Edinburgh, the International Livestock Research Institute, Save the Children UK, the Abdul Latif Jameel Poverty Action Lab, and Community Jameel.
At the heart of the Jameel Observatory is this community of practice made up of individuals representing various institutions, all the key players in the food security space in East Africa, representatives of research, of NGOs, humanitarian actors, government, ministries, private sector. It's a whole range of actors, all with some kind of expertise in dryland issues in East Africa.
From the beginning, the observatory's priorities were co-defined with members of the community of practice, bundled into 5 challenge questions which frame and guide the observatory's research, learning, and innovation agenda.
We see there's many different aspects of this. There's better data needed by pastoralists, so they need better early warning, more relevant early warning for their actions. Humanitarian organizations need better data on the impacts of drought, so they call this impact-based forecasting. So forecasts need to be accurate, but they also need to be informative. Then more broadly, we need better data about how droughts impact households so that we can think about what are the appropriate interventions to support them during drought.
Coordinating early action means that we have so many actors who are doing the same thing in different space, in the same space or in different space. But then the coordination between, for instance, in Kenya, between the county level responses and the national level responses with all the actors fitting in, it still has a lot of noise. And that's a very important question set out for us.
Shocks by their nature are unpredictable, and that doesn't necessarily fit the budget cycles that require planning and require time in order to get finance into place. So there's a disconnect between the unpredictability of shocks and the systems for making finance available.
To bring that trust element as an important question in our research is important. It's a very difficult thing to do, but then trust in data is a very important thing because data is a political animal in food security. Everybody uses data in the space that they want to use, either to raise fund, to raise emotions, to do a number of things.
How do we bridge the gap between formal warnings and formal actions and what's already going on at community level in pastoral communities? The challenge is how do we connect the formal data early warning systems and the humanitarian action with the work that's already going on among pastoral communities to predict forthcoming shocks and to put in place measures to deal with those shocks.
To deliver on these challenges, we carry out several interventions. We convene dialogue, generate evidence, catalyse collaboration, develop capacities, and communicate for change.
I think we recognise that although we're primarily a research for action initiative, we spend a lot of energy convening structured conversations with the right people in the food security space to ensure that what we do is embedded in the real world challenges that decision makers face, and that there's some kind of path to our research leading to impact.
Getting to the changes we seek usually requires additional, diverse and emerging capacities that are not easily available or you don't find quite easily. Through the Drylands Academy, we really aim to grow these capacities, grow the future leaders with these capacities and capabilities through the provision of continuing education, vocational studies, higher learning opportunities, and really mobilize learning opportunities for local communities as well.
In order to increase our reach and our impact, everything we do is done in collaboration. We believe that through collaboration, we're more innovative, we generate better ideas, and also by collaborating with actors on the ground, then there's a path for our research to achieve impact. Within the Jameel Observatory, we have two strong research partners. We have the University of Edinburgh and the International Livestock Research Institute, both of whom bring complementary research skills around dryland issues. We also have the Jameel Poverty Action Lab, JPAL, who are a global leader in the use of RCTs, randomized control trials, to assess development interventions.
To be successful, we really need to communicate the evidence. Our aim for communicating is to reinforce and achieve all our interventions. We use it also strategically to engage and inform key stakeholders and actors, to amplify authentic voices and promote realistic narratives about pastoralism in the drylands.
Through collaboration, science, and applying innovative solutions, we aim to shape a better, more resilient future for dryland communities.